welcome. So let's start off with the situation with Piastri and Norris. Now, Mr. Johnny mentioned, because I was watching the race, but I didn't hear it. He said that Piastri passed Norris because Norris was having battery issues. And I did some research into that. Then, what's his name? Battery issues at the restart. So he didn't have enough power to maintain on the straight, and therefore Piastri passed him. But then that liar of a technical director, what's his name? What's that boy's name? Stella. Stella said that, both of them had battery anomalies on their car. It's a damn lie. Let's go back. Julian Palmer from F1 TV, we got to give him credit. He analyzed what happened. So this is what happened. Okay, so on the restart, Norris was having problems with finding grip. That's why he was saying, let's keep doing safety car. Let's keep doing safety car. Let's doing safety car. Because he didn't have any grip in the rain. And also we know he has problems with grip. So what happened is that when the safety car started again, on the build-up leading to, I think it's La Source, where the hairpin is, Norris didn't have a lot of grip, and he started losing his back end. When this happened, Piastri latched onto him, went right behind him, which is very dangerous. And Piastri, in order not to pass him, Piastri started feathering his throttle. The fact that he was feathering his throttle while Norris was nervous in front of him allowed him to accumulate battery power, which he could use later. So he basically preserved his battery power and the power from the engine and the energy. Meanwhile, Norris struggled on the build-up to La Source. Then coming off of La Source, he started losing his tail again, and he was getting nervous. So going into El Rouge, which is a flat, he went flat out. He went all out because he was nervous about Piastri. But Piastri was close to him, but stayed off of his throttle because he didn't want to pass him and then get a penalty. So basically what happened is, because Piastri was on his tail and Piastri was only going 75% on his throttle, he had more battery power and a slipstream, and in general he was just more confident, and so that's what helped pass. So in a way, Norris was right. It was a battery issue, but the issue was that Norris in the front was pushing all out on his throttle, whereas Piastri, because Piastri was on his tail, Piastri conserved energy and got that extra boost plus plus a slipstream. This is not to diss Norris. The only mistake Norris made was that at the restart he didn't do a good start, and he kept on losing his back end on the corners. He did it on the bus build up to La Source. Then La Source is really bad. It's really tight. On that La Source hairpin, he lost tail. So the fact that he lost tail made him panic, and it also allowed Piastri to get onto his tail and conserve energy by staying at 75% on the throttle. I don't know why this fool, Stella, said that they both had anomalies. When you say things like that, then it makes people who know F1 think you don't know what you're talking about. We know he's lying to protect Norris, to not make Norris look bad by saying, no, they both had battery issues. But the idea is that Norris did not manage his battery properly and did not manage he didn't manage the battery. He didn't conserve his energy properly. And the reason he didn't do that is because he kept on losing control and had to compensate by trying to speed up further. What are your thoughts, Mr. Johnny?
Yeah, it's just, I guess it's, it's not easy, when the rolling start in Formula One, everybody's used to that starting start. So he wasn't used to that kind of start. He wasn't prepared. He didn't conserve his energy. He used his energy where he wasn't supposed to use it, and then so you're not used to that kind of start. So that's why. And I think even Norris, even Piastri, yes. Yeah, I think it was like Piastri to himself. He probably didn't know he was doing the right stuff. It was probably a coincidence that he was harvesting.
He was harvesting energy.
So
he was doing it naturally. He was doing it naturally because you have to, or else you'll. But he was smart enough. But he was smart enough to press his energy button though when it was time to pass, because he knew he had some energy.
Yeah, or maybe he didn't.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Norris still had pressed it, but he pressed it at the wrong time, and he didn't also have as much.
He didn't have enough.
His overtake button.
So I'm going to be kind. I don't want to say like I'm talking bad about Norris, but it goes back to what we're saying about total racecraft, timing of things, because this is not the first time Norris has made timing mistakes. I think he made a timing mistake. And there was another race that he lost to Piastri earlier in the year. I forgot where it was. I think it was at Monza or something. But timing, and so he just lacks general racecraft. I'm not saying it as a bad thing, but it seems like Norris is a natural driver who doesn't believe that he has to be meticulous. If you looked at the way Piastri passed him, very meticulous, and also dangerous. It was raining, and he was on La Source. In the rain, La Source has a little bit of a corner, even though it's supposed to be sort of like a straight. It's almost like an S curve. He stayed tight with the guy, and then pressed his energy and went around him. But you could tell by the way he did it, even though it looked risky, it's something he has practiced on the sim racing. Whereas I just get the sense that Piastri doesn't think about scenarios, but reacts. And so sometimes when you react, you're thinking about too many things. Your timing may be off, or you may not be aware that there's an issue. So I think Norris is too late this year. He has to. I think he can win this year, but it's too late for him to try to recraft himself. He needs to do that at the end of next year. Last thoughts on that, Mr. Johnny. Then we'll go to Kunle.
Yeah, that's it. That was like even the first knockout, or the first of the.
Oh yeah, he had several mistakes.
Norris made. Yes, that handed it over to Piastri. I think he had like 3 major mistakes, and that was it.
Yeah. And I think there was a chance he could have won that. Not won, but he could have caught Piastri at the end, but kept on making mistakes on corners, which just goes to show you he was nervous. Partly nervous, partly we all know that Norris doesn't have a good feel for grip. He's good at cornering. He's good at manipulating the steering wheel, but he doesn't have the type of feel for grip that Verstappen has, or Senna. Senna and Verstappen, those guys, I don't know where. It's almost like those guys' feet are on the track. I don't know. What are your thoughts, Kunle?
Those guys.
Yeah, it's been a difficult period for Norris. He is being shown up time and again by the presumed number 2 driver, that is Piastri. And Piastri has shown significant improvement, which is affecting him. And this next race, this Hungary track is not really, I think it might actually help suit Norris. It's a lot of corners. There's only one really fast straight. So it might help Norris come back into the reckoning, give him a little bit of confidence. This is what I would call a Lando Norris type track.
Oh yeah, sorry to cut in front of you. Tell us about your distinction between fast tracks and slow tracks, and good drivers and bad drivers.
Yes, because as we all know, a great driver knows how to corner fast, and a not so great one can get away with slow corners.
But a fast car does better on slow corners too. So he's got the mechanics.
And so this track will lend itself a bit to Norris. But even if it does lend itself to Norris, you have to look at Norris's mental strength and where he is in his mind in these races, because Piastri is awfully close. He's close enough as makes no difference. He's not going to get the protection of being driver 1. If at this stage, he's not going to get that protection. So he's out on his own. He has to rely on his ability to compete, especially in getting pole. I do think that if he can get pole in this race, he can be difficult to overhaul. That's Lando's best chance. He needs to get pole in this race.
Yeah, we'll talk about that because that's going to be our next topic. But before we go to the race in Hungary, what are your thoughts about the battery and the energy issues and everything at Falabi at the start of the race? At the start of Spa. Yeah. Is Falabi there?
Yeah, I can see him.
Falabi, you on mute or something? What's going on?
Okay. So like what I was saying is that Piastri was very smart with that move. You could see how technical he was, and that shows his racecraft is miles ahead of Lando Norris. He didn't go full throttle. He just managed to open his throttle to a certain angle, and he avoided overtaking too early. So he eased off his throttle in order to harvest battery energy. And this is important, really, because it saved energy for the long straight, which would come after, and gave him extra power for the overtake. I think it was a very, very good what he did was exceptional, which made some pundits to be comparing him to the great Alain Prost, who was also a very, very technical
the professor.
driver. Yeah,
I follow you're disrespectful. You don't call him Alain Prost. You call him
Professor Alain Prost.
Prost.
So this shows that the ability to Yeah. Ability to pull off this kind of move shows just how good Piastri is technically. And I actually wanted to show a diagram I got on the internet just to illustrate this. Let me see if I can get it.
Also, Afolabi is professor technician, also professor. Did you guys know? What did you study? Was it
engineering, mechanical
engineering, or chemical? I can't remember. Yeah,
mechanical. So if you look at this diagram here, you can see how close he was.
Wow.
You know, this was really very close.
Oh, that guy's crazy, man.
You can see how close he was at
in the rain.
Look at it in the rain. You can imagine. Look at this. Look at this gap. I mean, the risk he took here was just exceptional, and was able to pull it up. But he was
under control all the time, though. That's the thing. He was precise. Yeah,
he was precise, exactly. So, in fact, it was a very good one by Piastri. It just shows why he's on another level compared to Norris.
Yeah. Well, he's cold-blooded, and if he had crashed,
absolutely.
You know what? I like to see that guys will take risks, even though the team will be angry at him. But he didn't crash because he's well prepared. He even said, remember, the day before the race, the day before the tournament started, the weekend, he said that this is his favorite track and he's been doing a lot of work on the sim. So it paid off. All right, so let's go to the next thing.